Hello, this is Stormiller Gaming, and welcome to another rant. Now, this has been a while. It's been a very long time since I've talked about Ukraine. It's not because, I don't care about it anymore. I still do. It's just that life has been so busy with everything else. But now, since school has become easier, now I can focus a bit more on this. So this is just a short rant video, but I have to put the emphasis on the certain town called Pokrovsk in Ukraine. Right now, Russia is throwing everything at the kitchen sink of Ukraine right now. And of course, there's a certain type of misplaced hopelessness with some people there. Then it comes into mind. I still don't see it. Now you may say, but the Russian advances in specific places, not everywhere. This is not. I'm going to emphasize this later, but what Russia is doing right now is advancing in peripherally. Like peripherally, they're taking ground in certain places, like in Pokrovsk. But even in Pokrovsk, there's only one sector. The other places they have been fully stopped. Even in Velsonovika, they have been fully stopped. They haven't really done much there. It's only been to the side, but they haven't been able to advance any further because they lost so many men. Because the problem that Russia is doing right now is that the desperation is showing. You would have thought that with Trump being elected, that all their problems will be solved and so. But Trump has shown that he's more ambiguous than he ought to be, or at least some of his followers are. Because some of his followers are straight up Vatniks, but he seems to be more understanding and wants power for himself, and I bet he doesn't want to share with Putin, or he wants Putin to be subordinate to him. So again, we need to wait and see what he does with negotiations, because I doubt he will be able to solve the war. The only way the Ukraine would accept any peace at all, even though it won't recognize the occupied territories for Russia, is that they would need to go to NATO that very moment. That's the only other way, or they get nukes. Those are the only two ways to ensure that Ukraine could maintain its statehood if it has to come to that. However, Russia isn't going to want that. And if Trump demands them that they should do it, that they should accept that peace or not, then Trump is going to support Ukraine way more than usual, than what Biden did, and Russia is going to be completely screwed because what they're doing for Cross is very short sighted. Like like this is basically what Hindenburg from World War One, the German generals Hindenburg and Ludendorff hated about Falkenhayn. That it was wasting soldiers and equipment they could ill afford to lose at that point in Verdun, which was a video I made previously comparing Bachmann and Verdun. You can watch that, by the way to see my thoughts on a similar. But what Russia is doing is that they're wasting divisions worth of men for meager gains. Like, look out at the map of Ukraine, and then time lapse to now, or even the beginning of this year, and it will show that not much has changed. Or if you look at how much they took in comparison to this year, or even last year, it's so not worth it. And then you see how high casualties are taken. They've been taking 1,000 casualties every day. Every day, 1,000 men die or wounded or missing now or prisoners. They're literally losing battalions worth every day. They in this pursuit of just grabbing anything because now they're not convinced that Trump is going to help them now. And this seems short-sighted because what happens when Trump doesn't do what they want him to do? What Trump feels insulted by Putin not working with him, and he just supports Zelensky and the Ukrainians and Ukraine 500 times more than Biden? What are they going to do? They wasted God knows of men, God knows of artillery and planes and above all else, armored fighting vehicles. For what? For to be close to another town that's going to take them 7 months or more to take? Possibly? If, possibly? Like, this is the thing about why Pacquas is such a Burger to me, or at least not a burger in the grand text of this war. We have been through this thing before, guys. We've been through this before. Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Mariupol. Those places took months for the Russians to take, and every time they did, it cost them too much. It was horrific victories. Victories. They lost for Mariupol. It many units were trapped there, having to deal with the Ukrainians there that didn't help the soldiers in Zaporizhia at the time, which made sure they couldn't advance any further. So that's what happened to Mariupol, and they lost many soldiers there. In Bakhmut, the Wagner force was completely wiped out, and when they did their revolution, their rebellion against the government, they barely had anyone there. And for Avdiivka, even though they took it, they lost 7 or more divisions worth of men and material that only fell, mind you, because Ukraine did not have ammunition at the time. And now with Pokrovsk, that is even bigger than Avdiivka, and has another town adjacent to it. And the Russians have not been able to encircle it at all. They might reach one of the neighborhoods by the end of this month or the beginning of January. It's going to become another multi-month, 7 or more month slog that's going to kill the whole division's worth of Russians until they even take it. And then by then, it would have lost its tactical and strategic worth. Look, I'm not saying that none of the land matters. The land does matter for Ukraine. They don't want to lose any of it. But in comparison to but they're making sure that Russia completely, utterly pays for every grain of sorrow they take. And you see it. Covert Cabal has made multiple videos now of whole bases in Russia now are either completely empty or near empty because they're wasting them in meat wave assaults. Oh, the whole thing that History Legends make a video like, oh, they don't do human wave assaults. Bro, the Russians themselves literally admit this. Ukrainians talk about this all the time, and no, that's going to be another rap for another day. But overall, we need to chill. I'm going to wait until what Trump does. I have a bit of hope that maybe Trump has way more sense than we thought. Doesn't mean I'm a Trump supporter. Doesn't mean that. But if he's beneficial for Ukraine, I'm not going to complain. But we need to wait and see with how the situation goes. Russia is still not in a great position. Everything is doing this all this year was complete another desperation. And now they still couldn't kick out the Ukrainians in Kursk. And it's seeming like the Ukrainians are going to keep that place in Kursk until Trump comes in, which is going to complicate their negotiations way further than they want to. Still have hope for this war. It's either going to have the Ukrainians at least gain access to NATO, or would have to make a nuke. But I don't think that's going to be likely because of Trump's language against Russia. Then there is some hope. So, Slava Ukraini is storming the game in.